particular kind of accolade because of say, as a young manager, now all go back to Anderlecht, his boyhood club in 2019-2020 season, when he wanted to become a player coach at that particular football club. Now making sure say that 2 seasons of spending at Anderlecht when he was playing the Belgium Jupiler Pro, that kind of league, he was able to make sure say or the Anderlecht be the third in their first season, and in the second season, or don't be the fourth in that particular season. When he finished with that particular level, he came to Burnley, of which when he adopted the style of Pep Guardiola to become an idealistic coach that he wanted to make sure so the ball in a possession-based oriented football, and the style of playing it tactically will be 4-2-3-1 tactical system of football, and Obetima Burnley in that particular spell. He promoted Burnley in the 2022-2023 season into the English Premiership last 2 seasons. And when he came, he made sure say or the Burnley Bessa go back to relegation. Although say a lot of people in English Premiership, and I say in England, were saying a whole lot of things about Papaya friends and result.
Mamen Fakye say game Nana Vara say count Ali Ashe first goal.
Ashe first goal.
Near Taha Muhammad 24th minute.
Yes.
Ali Ashe first goal.
Yes. So at the time,
because a Jano Masono
I know them pa.
The Jano know them pa. Okay, my friend also.
So at the time, not his own company, didn't you madam Burnley no. You and I can attest the fact say although say when Burnley airborne or footballer, they play in the possess-based oriented football, not about the 4-2-3-1 system of football, then everything will be mainly possessed for him. But in terms of or accumulating major points, Diama Burnley, not all about the English top flights, no, no. So most of it also don't go back to relegation zone. But all relegation, at that particular moment in time, no be a case. Reason Kompany ain't deserve Burnley again, and I was all working out from the football club. He stood the chance he would go to the relegation zone, the championship side for the side of Burnley. No making sure say Burnley not the Moko in the relegation manner, no, or best answer the move back to the English Premiership within the next subsequent season. But the Yakoba and he was there when he got that particular call from Max Ebel as the sporting director of Bayern Munich Football Club. Say Umbra, the side of Bayern Munich Football Club, and making sure to be coaching Edema Bayern Munich just for him to make sure so we showcase his talent. How it's Mr. Free Pep Guardiola, how is he adopted from the side of Roberto Mancini and Manuel Pellegrini with the days of Manchester City now. Which adopted that particular style and which invented now as a stable coach for the side of Bayern Munich. In fact, before Sir Max Ebel Free Papa result company to become a coach for Bayern Munich, they did call Pep Guardiola. And when they called Pep Guardiola endorsed his company. He stood out for him, say he has that kind of qualities. Say in terms of being a leader in the dressing room, he has that kind of momentum. Even at Manchester City, from the days of boy in the 11 years at Manchester City, or you zoom 8 years to become a captain for the side of Manchester City. So in terms of the leadership skills and qualities, he has that particular leadership skills and qualities. For Belgium, he bought 85 caps for Belgium national team. But the Omoko 2018 World Cup, he was the leader for that particular team, and then Omoko into the semi-final stage of that particular country. He did very well for Belgium, and he was being made as one of the stable leader of the national team in that particular tournament. Even as a man, he is a man of a communicator. He speaks just 3 languages: English, French, and a bit of Dutch. So at the time, I know Bosnia kind of Hamburg, At the time, I know 21 years, I'm 23 Anderlecht, then they call Hamburg in the moment of 9 million euros, or chassis the Dutch Casa. So in the room of Bayern Munich, most of these players, be English boys, be speaking French, be so eka Dutch language, and this particular man have blended these number of languages and a bit more now working with the dressing room. So almost this kind of things, Papa, your friend said, result company to become a coach at the Bayern Munich Football Club. When he came to Bayern Munich, in his first 6 months in charge of Bayern Munich Football Club, he was able to record 89% winning streak for the side of Bayern Munich Football Club. For the first time, our last season, not Thomas Tuchel being the coach for the side of Bayern Munich, not Bayer Leverkusen, echo invisible in the Bundesliga. Now making sure so omitting actually points by 18 points gap, the worst ever since the season that occurred in 2010-2011 season. And Bayern Munich lose the Bundesliga title for Werder Bremen, and the side of Gab moment was closed about 9 points. The worst ever season that Bayern Munich after that particular season in 2010-2011 was last season after say Bayer Leverkusen, which was led by Xabi Alonso, struck points by 18 points in that particular advance. And making sure say Bayern Munich made the second. This man Abba with exceptional points of about 6 matches to go. With match team would clear about 6 points. That much against Mainz 05. So to be winning against this particular team, a bit accumulating as the winner of the Bundesliga in that particular first season, debut season, the side of Bayern Munich. Basa wo hwe baby onyini ya. Oye onyini wo Brussels in the side of Belgium. Bane papa, if it's a peer company, or one particular refugee or free Congo at the bet now the side of Brussels. And free the side of Congo by because at the time in 1975, there was a president in Congo who was called Mobutu Sese Seko, and he was seen as a dictator in Congo. And he was one of these particular students almost 10 days a dictator in ruling Congo. And because of that, a lot of threats. Eco company papa so Congo, and then also running for his life. Ojane Belgium no be when he came, he made sure so Vision Company mame. At that time, Vision Company mame was a trade unionist. I know Yuma Belgium, and then she wasn't doing that particular job. He bit fetching enough money for Vision Company. Eddie Moore the Vision Company in 6 years, or not to Anderlecht, Omaka minimum. He was playing very well for the side of Anderlecht. But Nipa Otimi discovered the talent of Papa friend said, Vision Company was Hugo Bruce. Currently, he is the coach of South Africa national team. He discovered the talent at a Vision Company, making sure say, Obitma and nurture this particular talent for him to become a main defender for Anderlecht Football Club. And or discover in the first season, Otimi inventing or to play in his debut game for Anderlecht was quite mobile in the Champions League playoff or Man Babu against Rapid FC in that season. Or be making assist as a substitution or by a move at the side of Anderlecht. He did very well for the side of Anderlecht at that particular moment. If you are in a call Hamburg, better call Hamburg, a lot of strategy in the Cotton Hamburg because at that time, ne maame on what on any papa cabo matete no nim se oko Hamburg wakoji sika 9 million euros so ma turn free the side of Anderlecht. Aba Hamburg obeji sika adiabo fie no obaye no ne maame no enya accident ewuye. Ono so ni nua ba kopa aka na ono ne eye nua no so no onso nya cancer ediwuye. So at Hamburg no one particular lesson so be service and company obeka chance at Hamburg e ho no sua se wo so obre ne ho ase e wo life no. So at Hamburg all those Bob Oyiniyem Bobo 65 matches to see a kind Edema Hamburg he was able to make close about 25 clean sheets for Hamburg as a defender. Although say that first season he struggled with a lot of injuries. Edema Hamburg in the Bundesliga, but then he made 25 clean sheets for them. If you know about Manchester City in 2008, Obi Miki sure say Obey a stable competitor and a solid rock for Manuel Pellegrini, Roberto Mancini, and even the side of Pep Guardiola, or making sure so Belly did in charge the new generation of projector. Pep Guardiola, Manchester City, he played an integral part of it. Say Ochina, so winning against Mainz 05, it will be a good moment for Vision Company as a footballer and even as a player coach. We originated here with Pep Guardiola, and Guardiola is a master of a winning streak percentage. Obi or coachy the side of
in case a child winning Bundesliga. This season on the first season of Bayern, Bayern successful and per one analysis I will normal day my meeting a club like Inter. Or Champions League, no one to advance to the semis now. This season, what my target is completely say a successful demand.
Memano 75%. Because Bayern Munich is a demanding football club. So before Bayern Munich, they always compete for the best and they always want to win a lot of trophies. Last season, MON-FRI DFB Pokal. Intime winning the Bundesliga. Champions League, when they reached the semi-finals, Real Madrid Football Club, so it was a total failure by Thomas Tuchel and even the Bayern Munich entire board. So what I say, this man has come. DFB Pokal, when Timon won home again. Champions League currently, as we speak, Inter Milan in the quarter-final stage of the competition. The only competition now, Obitima thriving very well for the side of Bayern Munich, will only be the Bundesliga. And another young watch, Obitima the first and the other side of Bayern Munich. So last season, they were trophyless. This season, that's a Vision Company to make just a trophy. A Bundesliga, at the other side of Bayern Munich, it will start a new orientation period for the side of Vision Company or Bayern Munich Football Club. Now the environment in the next season, as sounds very conducive for him in the football club. But Luther, Soko St. Lucia, there is this particular girl, Oye Athletic, and I said Otumbe Kadema St. Lucia, who is called Julien Alfred. And a lot of tabloids, Caribbean states, in Zimbi Defa Ababawa. because of say she has been the first athlete in St. Lucia omo history ni omo bakose mu no. On the first athlete the last season in the Summer Olympics Paris omo timi ehodi ye no. This particular girl was the first St. Lucian athlete to ultimate edge Olympic gold medal for the country. No making sure in the 100 meters award Olympic gold medal for the country no. Was also making sure in the 200 meters no or best also adje and also bit made the silverware and the St. Lucia on a minor. The Jamaican world kase ababa wano on free St. Lucia of Jamaica. Some people also parts in the Dominican Republic, so Casa Ababawan in free St. Lucia of the Dominican Republic. It so Casa of Grenada and also free Bahamas. Nina say when you track into the history of St. Lucia, there was a particular indigenous group of people, all Mutimbets the side of St. Lucia at that time, and these people were called the Arawaks. The Arawaks are actually determined as the main indigenous people. They blend a little bit of French, English, and other kind of because a pidgin language in this particular people of Omokan Ewonum. Almost now from AD 200 to AD 400 AD. That was after the death of Jesus Christ. Almost one there was a particular people almost be colonized free St. Lucia assassins. And these people, when you go to the Caribbean world, their main ethnic background is basically upon the Arawaks and the Kalinago. The Kalinago no was this particular another ethnic group of St. Lucia. Ebe two different assassins because they felt say so check the geographical period of St. Lucia any baby or wana. Now we have a certain moment here because on an island no your baby in so to your baby in so to. So in the geographical moment no because baby here windward side no basically see a lot of rain and in so timi toman no by if you baby in so ntimi nto no the leeward side that ehonom no in so ntimi nto papa wo so Kalinago for no baby no mo wo no mo free Dominican Republic any Grenada and the Bahamas hono na eba and no mo feel say onom asase no enye fertile because of say ntimi and you did a lot of things for them so they came to a particular windward side that ehonom no na in so to in no baya asase no fertile and that was the moment we meet the Arawaks so picture there that so no is a clear picture at that time of this was how na St. Lucia, Omukrono, and Kasa, ne. Now, when they came, they fought with the Arawaks people and the Santokwan in Namasomo to Omudi free, Chrome Honum. Boss, from 1660 Ebano, this particular country were fully occupied by the Kalinago people. 1660 in that particular period, it was English people and then the French people in the Bessan, it was St. Lucia, so wait to me, I discovered this particular new land. English people didn't come out, but when they came, and our French when they colonized the Arawaks and the Kalinago for when they did that, they made sure that but the English people no sound back in 1660 to 1663. In Tintokwano also just for about 14 years. This in Tokwano land in the year 1663. The English people need to me a far chrono at the bomb the Arawaks for and I say French people no edi free chrono so. Say Tracy back may can't wait because of say Ababawano. He is a true identification woman of an Kalinago person. Or an Arawak, but then or a Kalinago person. And she be on the US. And Oko Tracy, the identity and as an heritage will be free. And I'm catching say or an Arawak, but then or a Kalinago. The whole of the Dominican Republic for the Kalinago in their history, no, if you move on the bad side of St. Lucia. And St. Lucia has sounds with history because it in St. Lucia normally two chrono represented in the Greek methodology movement say the Helen of Troy. Oko Greek or methodology now Helen of Troy was once a beautiful woman. The Troy of Paris. On that one. He is seen as the beautiful woman. What I say. And don't believe St. Lucia normally a man actually chrono. And the Greek methodology was said this particular woman called the Helen of Troy. He was the one of the beautiful women, the god of Zeus, and that's the Zeus god, and the nemesis and the war Ababawi. Now he was married to the king of Spartan, and also a king of Turkey. But then because of saying not the king of Spartan into Ojane Eko Ware, the prince of Paris, and I said the god of Paris. Oko Ware no, Aware anyu open. It was marriage by elopement. So marriage by elopement in the was a secret marriage. So who worry will be now mameno papa anymore. That is marriage by elopement. And Okoware, the prince of Troy. No Okoware no. Anko Yan from the king of Spartan and Topakesi is in Topakesi in Nesi, no. According to the Greek methodology, no, a St. Lucia chrono and Topakesi in the way they ABC. So Omo have that kind of knowledge, they say when it comes to St. Lucia, a ma energy of mine yeding, ADC. And Arawak and then the Kalinago people no must be discover this particular land. No, Oba Ndindi Arawakus. It be to me discover this particular land. Or no more tracy who say, Ababa friends Julien Alfred no Ninchi if this particular family name. So there's no way says Oba Bontin because Oko St. Lucia. No first athlete. Our ultimate air running in the Summer Olympic last season. Our orgy the Olympic gold medal. Or sounds the silver in the 200 meters. That's all a lot of things at the St. Lucia. That's all a lot of things that Untimi Bontin can say me fangu nehufin. So this is a typical history of St. Lucia and Julien Alfred Luther.
May I say, big brother maestro, no. On the panel members, some times I say, Krukuni cracker, with the far, no with their far, no with their copima. So we should Jumadina, Unya, so no dear, said the Tibiano, a quay Edema. My mini messages never through Cransana, my core aqua faso from first batch of a year's player mention or Edia Bar. Now, Kagawa, the was a good afternoon, boss. Keep the fire burning. I'm Shinji Kagawa watching you from Patasi Police Depot. Kagawa, Bokodiye, Nankupo Shana Bibia Enyekaba. Emmanuel Pepra, the Diapa, or say hi, Fakye TV.